Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti. I am MrPhotographer.com. Whenever we begin anything new, we tend to make mistakes, and photography is no different. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 mistakes beginners often make, and I'm going to tell you how to fix them. Before we begin, do me a favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Remember to click on that little bell so you get updates. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you know of anyone that would benefit from watching this video, please share it. And finally, follow me on Instagram. I am at Anthony Morganti on Instagram. All right, let's get started. The first thing, the number one thing that I see beginners do wrong when they're out taking photos, their pictures aren't straight. Their horizons are crooked. Inevitably, they'll have an image of an ocean scene and it looks like the water is spilling off the side. It's something that is very easily fixed. Most cameras have some type of virtual horizon in them, and you could have the virtual horizon come up on the LCD screen or the viewfinder. Take advantage of it. Make sure that your picture and your framing is level when you take the shot. Also, that kind of tells me when you're looking through the viewfinder, but you're actually not seeing what you're shooting. And that's important too. So I want you to carefully look through the viewfinder, carefully make sure the horizon is level, the picture straight, but also look to the far left and right, the far top and bottom, and make sure that nothing is creeping into the shot that shouldn't be there. Make sure that you have it framed properly, because it really is important to actually see what you're photographing. The second mistake I often see beginners make is they stop down their aperture too far. They're using too small of an aperture. A lot of beginning photographers, they put their camera in aperture priority mode and they just stop it down in f/22 because they want to make sure everything's in focus. Well, the problem is when you do that, you're not using the real strength of your lens optics. Your lens is at its sharpest when it's somewhere in the middle, not at f/22, usually around 2 to 4 stops stopped down from wide open. For example, this is an f/2.8 lens. That means at wide open, it's f/2.8. 2 to 4 stops down would be f/5.6 to f/11. In there is when this lens is the sharpest. If you stop down beyond that, you're going to start suffering from a lens effect called diffraction. And when you suffer from diffraction, when your image suffers from diffraction, it's just not as crisp and sharp as it could be. Yes, you'll get more depth of field, but it just won't be as sharp. So, use a middle aperture, usually 2 to 4 stops, stopped down from the widest aperture of your lens, and I think you'll see that your photo quality will improve. The third mistake I often see new photographers make is they use too slow of a shutter speed. This often goes hand in hand with that aperture that they're stopping down to f/22. They're in aperture priority mode, they stop the lens down to f/22, and their camera is going to choose a relatively slow shutter speed. And often the shutter speed is too slow and it induces camera shake and they get a blurry photo. So you really have to be cognizant of what shutter speed your camera is choosing. And you're going to want to use the reciprocal rule. That is, whatever focal length you're shooting at, make sure that your shutter speed is the reciprocal of that or faster. Meaning, on this lens, if I'm at 70 millimeters, that's telling me that my shutter speed shouldn't be slower than 1/70th of a second. Now obviously on the camera I can't dial in 1/70th of a second, but I could use a faster shutter speed like 1/125th or 1/250th. Don't be afraid to push your ISO up so that you get a proper exposure. Many new photographers are also afraid of using high ISO. They want to keep the ISO as low as possible because they don't want that noise induced in the shot. Don't worry about the noise. Most newer cameras today can handle high ISO very, very well. And even if you do get some noise in your photo, the software available today could really eliminate the noise. So use that reciprocal rule. If you use a 300 millimeter lens, you're shooting at 300 millimeters, don't use a shutter speed slower than 1/300th of a second. Then your photo should be really sharp. And that's it. That's the 3 mistakes I often see beginning photographers make. Thank you for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm gonna go shoot.